Alright, folks, before you go tossing that pocket change into a vending machine, hold up. Police car light, that little copper coin jingling in your pocket could be worth, drumroll, please, a whopping $1.30. That's right, $1.30. Now, before you laugh and click away, hear me out. Because if you've got a 1976 D Lincoln penny, you're officially a tiny bit richer than you thought. Maybe not quit your job rich, but definitely upgrade to large fries rich. And should you start hoarding these like a squirrel preparing for winter? Today, we're breaking down why the 1976 D Lincoln penny is worth more than face value, what makes some of them even more valuable, and whether you should start digging through your couch cushions. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So first things first, 1976 was a big year for the U.S. bicentennial. While everyone was out celebrating America's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint was quietly churning out billions of Lincoln pennies. And when I say billions, I mean over 4.2 billion of these little guys with the D mint mark, meaning they were minted in Denver. That's a whole lot of Lincolns floating around. But here's the thing, most of these pennies, they've been through it. I'm talking years of vending machines, linty pockets, and that weird sticky residue that somehow appears on every penny ever. Gross. But some of these coins, in pristine condition, are worth more than you'd expect. One back in 1976, pennies were 95% copper and 5% zinc. And guess what? Copper prices have gone up over the years. In fact, the melt value of one of these pennies is already worth more than a penny. Just don't go melting them down, because, that's technically illegal. If your 1976 D penny looks like it survived the Great Penny War, it's probably still just worth a cent. But if you've got one in mint state, MS, condition, graded MS 65 or higher, then we're talking $3 to $7 per coin, not life-changing, but hey, that's a solid upgrade. Now, this is where things get spicy. Some 1976 D pennies have cool errors, like error pennies can be worth tens or even hundreds of dollars, depending on how dramatic the mistake is. So keep an eye out for those little oddities. Alright, let's talk real money, because you didn't come here for a history lesson, you came here to find out if you can retire off a jar of pennies. Spoiler, probably not, but let's dream big. So yeah, if you've been ignoring your piggy bank, maybe it's time to start paying attention. Okay, story time. So a few years ago, I found myself knee-deep in my grandpa's old coin jar, because, you know, that's just what you do when you're this obsessed with coins. I figured I'd find a few wheat pennies, maybe a cool error. But then, bam! Right in the middle of the pile was a shiny, red-toned 1976 D penny that I got way too excited and immediately sent it off for grading. And let me tell you, the anticipation was killing me. Would it be an MS 67? Would I finally become a penny millionaire? Nope. MS 64. Worth like $5. But hey, $5 is still $5. Moral of the story: you never know what's hiding in your pocket change. And that's why coin collecting is so darn fun. Probably not. But should you start checking your change? Absolutely. Because every now and then, you might just stumble upon that rare error, that high-grade beauty, or that one coin that makes the hunt totally worth it. And if you love learning about coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and weird little coin stories coming your way. Oh, and drop a comment, have you ever found a valuable penny in your pocket change? Let's talk coins. Alright, I'm off to go dig through another jar of change. Alright, folks. Today, we're diving into a coin that's been causing some buzz, the 1979 D Lincoln penny. You might be wondering, why should I care about a penny from 1979? It's just a penny. Well, my friend, what if I told you this little copper-coated beauty could be worth more than 1 cent? Now, don't start booking a vacation with your future fortune just yet, we're gonna break it all down. Grab your coffee, your coin jar, and maybe even a magnifying glass, because we're about to explore whether this 1979 D penny is a hidden treasure or just, well, a penny. So, the 1979 D Lincoln penny, what's the big deal? This little guy was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and it's made mostly of copper with a zinc core. Yep, back then, pennies were still holding on to their copper roots before they went full zinc in 1982. So, if you're holding one, congratulations, you own a piece of coin history. But is it worth more than 1 cent? That's the $1 million, okay, $1.40, question. Let's talk money. If you find a 1979 D penny in average circulated condition, it's, drumroll please, worth about 1 cent. Yep, a solid 1 cent. But wait, don't throw it back in the change jar just yet. If you've got one in mint condition, we're talking uncirculated, shiny, almost like it just left the Denver mint, it could go for around $1.40. Now, I know what you're thinking, $1.40. That's barely a candy bar. But hey, a penny turning into $1.40 is a 14,000% increase. Try getting that return on your stock investments. Now here's where it gets fun, errors. Error coins can make your boring old penny worth some serious cash. Look out for things like, his happens when the design is struck twice, making letters and numbers look slightly doubled. If Lincoln looks like he's escaping the edge of the coin, you might have a winner, a small die break between the B and E in Liberty. Looks like a tiny extra letter snuck in there. Coins with errors can go for way more than $1.40. Some rare ones have sold for hundreds of dollars. Now that's what I call a penny for your thoughts. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I found a 1979 D penny in my couch. Yep, the couch, a true treasure trove of lost change, snack crumbs, and old receipts. It looked kinda nice, so I checked it under a magnifying glass. Turns out, it had a minor off-center strike. Excited, I listed it online and, boom, sold it for $20. Was it life-changing? Nope. But did it buy me a nice burger and fries? You bet. So moral of the story? Check your couch. Alright, so what did we learn today? The 1979 D Lincoln penny can be worth more than a cent, especially in top condition or if it has an error. But even if you don't find a rare one, coin collecting is fun, and hey, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? Now, if you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny. And if you haven't? Well, maybe today's the day you start looking. Alright, let's talk about something that might just make your day, finding hidden treasure in your pocket change. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, it's just a penny? Well, today, we're talking about a 1985 D Lincoln penny that's worth more than 1 cent, way more. And if you've ever wondered why that old copper-looking coin in your car's cup holder is slightly more valuable than face value, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you might be checking every single penny you get from now on. So, the 1985 D Lincoln penny. You know it, you've seen it, and you probably ignored it. But guess what? It's got a little more going on than you think. The D stands for Denver, which is where it was minted, and yes, it's still just a regular penny, or is it? Let's break it down. Before you start raiding your piggy bank, let's talk value. Currently, this penny is sitting at a market value of about $1.60 in average circulated condition. Now, I know what you're thinking, wow, a whole $1.60, I'm rich. Well, maybe not mansion on the beach rich, but hey, that's a 16,000% increase from its face value. You can't say that about most things in life. I mean, have you seen gas prices lately? If pennies appreciated like that, we'd all be millionaires. So, why is it worth more than a penny? Well, there's a demand for it among collectors. Some are looking to complete their Lincoln penny sets, others want high quality, uncirculated examples, and some of us just love hoarding cool coins like a dragon. If you've got one in pristine condition, also known as mint state, it could fetch even more. Like, maybe $5 to $10, or if it's graded high enough, over $50. Now we're talking lunch money, or at least one trip to Starbucks. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was cleaning out my car, because let's be real, we all have that "I'll clean it later" excuse. I found a few pennies stuck between the seats, and instead of ignoring them like a normal person, I decided to check the dates. And boom! There it was, a 1985 D penny. I got all excited, only to realize it was pretty beat up. But still, knowing that even a single penny could be worth more made me feel like Indiana Jones of pocket change. So, next time you get change back at the store, don't just toss your pennies aside, check them. That little D mint mark could mean you're holding onto a mini treasure. And hey, if you don't want it, I'll gladly take it off your hands. If you love learning about coins that are worth more than you think, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We've got tons of tips, tricks, and strategies to help you find coins worth real money. Plus, if you've got a cool coin story, drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear it. And hey, who knows? Maybe your spare change will fund your next vacation. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep dreaming of finding that golden ticket, golden penny. Alright, be honest, when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Really looked at it? Probably never, right? Well, let me tell you something, you might be tossing away money without even knowing it. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1988 D Lincoln penny, yeah, that little copper guy in your pocket, and why it could be worth way more than just 1 cent. Spoiler alert, it could be worth up to $1.70 in the current market. Okay, maybe that won't buy you a mansion, but hey, free money is free money, right? Let's get into it. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, come on, it's just a penny, hear me out. Because this little coin has a backstory, and understanding what makes it special could make you some extra cash, at least enough for a few burgers at your favorite fast food joint. Well, that tells us this penny was minted in Denver. Yep, all the 1988 pennies with a little D below the year came from the Mile High City's mint. But here's where it gets juicy, there's something super interesting about the way the numbers and letters were stamped on these. Some of these 1988 D pennies have a transition feature, meaning some were struck using dies meant for 1989 pennies. This means a difference in the font and shape of the letters, particularly the FG initials on the reverse. These small details can make a huge difference in value. And collectors? Oh, they love this kind of stuff more than my grandma loves collecting porcelain cats. But let's talk about condition, because let's be real, if your 1988 D penny has been through the laundry 5 times and looks like it went to war, it's not gonna be worth much. The shinier and cleaner, the better. A well-preserved one in mint state can fetch $1.70 or more. And before you scoff at that, think about how many pennies you probably ignore on a daily basis. What if you had a whole roll of these? That's a small but real payday. Here's a personal story. One time, I was going through my spare change, just looking for quarters, because, vending machines, and BAM. I found a 1988 D penny. At first, I shrugged it off, but then I remembered hearing something about it being special. So, I did a little research, got out my magnifying glass, and sure enough, it had the rare transition feature. Long story short, I sold it to a collector and made an easy few bucks. That's when I realized that checking my change wasn't just something my grandpa did for fun, it was actually kinda genius. So, here's what you should do if you find a 1988 D penny in your change, check for the D mint mark under the year, look closely at the FG initials on the back, if they match the 1989 design, you've got a winner, if it looks shiny and new, it could be worth even more. Don't clean it aggressively, just a gentle wipe if needed. Cleaning it wrong can actually decrease its value. Alright, so next time you get change at the store, don't just shove those pennies in your car cup holder. Give them a look, you never know when you might have a little treasure hiding in your pocket. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more tips on coins worth real money. Who knows? Your next Starbucks run might just be paid for in pocket change. See you next time. Alright, folks, I have a question for you. Would you pick up a penny off the ground? Pause for dramatic effect. If you just said, nah, not worth my time, well, what if I told you that one little penny, specifically the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth way more than 1 cent? That's right. Today, we're diving into this mysterious, rare penny that's making coin collectors go crazy. And yes, by the end of this video, you might be scrambling to check your change jar. Okay, so let's break it down. The 1990 Lincoln penny, nothing special, right? Wrong. If you take a closer look, some of these pennies are missing a little detail that makes a big difference. The mint mark, a penny minted in Philadelphia, doesn't have a mint mark. But here's the twist, some of these no mint mark pennies were actually supposed to have an S mint mark for San Francisco because they were meant for proof sets. Oops. The U.S. Mint made a boo-boo, and that mistake made some collectors very, very happy. Alright, the part you're waiting for, how much is this thing actually worth? Well, before you quit your job to start digging through pennies, let's talk numbers. The current market value? Around $1.10 in circulated condition. Not exactly life-changing, right? But, hold on to your piggy bank, if you find one in pristine condition, it can go for thousands. One of these bad boys sold for over $3,000 at auction. That's a lot of Taco Bell runs funded by one tiny mistake from the U.S. Mint. So, how do you know if you've got a winner? Step 1, look for the year 1990. Step 2, check the mint mark, or rather, check that there isn't one. Step 3, if you're feeling fancy, get it professionally graded. The higher the grade, the higher the payday. If you don't have a magnifying glass, just borrow your grandma's reading glasses. It works. Trust me, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. So, there I was, sifting through my coin jar, heart racing, palms sweaty, holding a 1990 penny with no mint mark. I was already planning my luxury vacation, until I realized, it was just a regular Philly minted penny. Not the rare one. Lesson learned, always double-check your finds before calling your boss and quitting your job. Number 1, check your pocket change. Number 2, go through those old coin jars collecting dust. Number 3, ask your grandma, because let's be real, grandmas always have the best coin collections. Oh honey, I've got pennies older than you. The wisdom of grandmothers, folks. Never underestimate it. Alright, so now you know, the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny might not make you a millionaire overnight, but it's definitely worth looking out for. The thrill of the hunt is half the fun, and who knows? Maybe you have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. So here's what I want you to do, check your pennies, tell me in the comments if you find something cool, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I've got more hidden treasure tips coming your way. Let's make some money, one penny at a time. Alright, folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been so broke that you started digging through your couch cushions like an archaeologist, hoping to find some spare change? Yeah. Same here. But what if I told you that a plain old 1995 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, nothing fancy, could actually be worth money? Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, let's dive into why this little copper beauty might be more valuable than you think. Let's talk about how this unassuming 1-cent coin could be hiding in your pocket right now and be worth, drumroll please, a whopping $1.20. Okay, I know, that's not exactly quit your job money, but it's still over 100 times its face value. And hey, if you find a roll of these, that's gas money, my friend. Alright, so what's the deal with this penny? The 1995 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, which means, wait for it, it has no mint mark. That's right, you flip it over, you don't see a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. It's just doing its own thing, living life mint mark free. And that, my friends, is exactly how it was made. Nothing unusual there. But wait, if there's nothing special about it, why is it worth more than a penny? Great question. The reason comes down to demand and condition. Coin collectors love to hoard well-preserved coins, and the 1995 no-mint mark penny is one of those that's gradually rising in value. Most of them have been in circulation for decades, so finding one in great condition is getting harder. That means collectors are willing to pay more for one that's shiny and fresh. Okay, so let's say you're ready to go on a treasure hunt in your spare change jar. Here's what to look for: no mint mark under the date. If it has a D or an S, well, tough luck. That's not our guy. If your penny looks like it's been through the garbage disposal, chances are, it's still just 1 cent. Look for sharp details and minimal wear. Some 1995 pennies have what's called a double die error. If Lincoln's face looks a little blurry or his nose is having an identity crisis, you might have an even more valuable coin. And if you find one that looks good, pop it into a plastic sleeve. Don't be like me and throw it in your sock drawer, only to rediscover it 5 years later covered in dust and lint. Up to $10. Now we're talking $20 to $50, sometimes more. So, it's definitely worth checking your change before you spend it on gum. You could be accidentally using a mini goldmine to pay for your morning coffee. Speaking of mistakes, let me tell you about the time I accidentally spent a valuable coin. True story, years ago, I found an old penny that looked kinda unique. But I was in a rush, and guess what? I used it to pay for a vending machine snack. Yep, I literally spent a rare coin on a bag of chips. To this day, I hope some lucky guy found it and is living his best life. Moral of the story: check your change. First, not all pennies are just pennies. The 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny might be in your pocket right now, and it could be worth more than you think. Second, always check for errors in condition, because a little wear and tear can make a big difference in value. And finally, don't be like me, don't accidentally spend your rare coins on snacks. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. I post more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and how to turn your spare change into extra cash. Who doesn't love free money, right? Alright, go forth and check your pennies. And if you find one worth big bucks, let me know in the comments so I can live vicariously through your success. Guys, what if I told you this little guy right here is worth more than a cent? No, I'm not talking about inflation. I mean, some people are paying up to $1.80 for one of these. A penny. More than 100 times its face value. Now, before you go flipping over every couch cushion or cracking open that childhood piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny special. Is it rare? Is it secretly made of gold? Is Abe Lincoln winking at us? Nah, but there's still money to be made, and I'll show you how. Alright, so what's the deal? This is the 2015 Lincoln penny, and if you look closely, you'll notice something missing. Yep. No little mint mark under the date. Now, don't freak out, this isn't some crazy error. It was struck in Philadelphia, where they traditionally didn't use a mint mark on pennies until 2017. But here's the thing, people still collect these like they're Pokemon cards. Even though this isn't exactly the holy grail of pennies, some folks are paying $1.80 or more for one in great condition. Not exactly retire on a yacht money, but hey, that's like getting 179 extra cents just for knowing your change. Now, before you start dumping your penny jar all over the table, let's break down what makes this worth more than its weight in copper, or actually, zinc, because pennies haven't been mostly copper since 1982. Fun fact, if you melted down a modern penny for its metal, it'd be worth less than a penny. Government's got that one locked down tight. So why the premium? Simple, condition. If your penny has been chilling in a soda sticky car cup holder for years, it's probably not worth much. But if it's in pristine, shiny, fresh from the bank condition, what collectors call brilliant uncirculated, that's where you can get that sweet $1.80 price tag or even more. Okay, so let's say you've gone through your pocket change, found a super shiny 2015 penny, and now you want to sell it. Where do you go? eBay, Etsy, even Facebook Marketplace. People buy everything online. Heck, I once saw someone selling a single Cheeto shaped like a duck for $50. For the serious collector crowd, these places are great. But let's be honest, most of us aren't walking into a coin auction dressed like Indiana Jones with a briefcase full of pennies. So yeah, don't expect to get rich, but hey, finding a handful of these in your change. That's free money. Okay, story time. So a while back, I was at a diner with some friends, and the waitress gave me my change. I noticed I had a super shiny penny and thought, oh man, maybe it's an error coin worth thousands. I googled it right there at the table, got all excited, only to find out it was just a really clean, regular penny. I hyped myself up for nothing. But hey, I still tipped the waitress with a crisp $5 bill, and yes, I kept the penny, just in case. Moral of the story? Don't get ahead of yourself, but also, always check your change. You never know when you might score a small win, and those add up. Alright, so what did we learn today? The 2015 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't rare, but collectors still want it, especially in great condition. You can sell them for about $1.80 each, maybe even more for top-quality ones. It's not a fortune, but hey, it's literally free money sitting in your change jar. And hey, if you liked this video, make sure to smash that like button, gently, though, we don't need broken keyboards. And if you want more tips on coins worth money, how to collect, and strategies to make extra cash from change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know, you might have a small fortune hiding in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your pennies. Alright, folks, let's talk about something that's been sitting in your pocket, your couch cushions, or even that mysterious jar on top of your fridge. The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, that little copper coin that you've probably overlooked could actually be worth more than just 1 cent. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if you found one of these and it turned out to be worth more than your last impulse DoorDash order? I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. But hang tight, because today we're diving deep into why this coin is special, how much it's actually worth, and how you can turn your pocket change into something worth bragging about. And yes, I have a story to share about my own personal penny hunting adventure, so stick around. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room, or in this case, the missing mint mark. Normally, coins have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, P for Philadelphia. But in 1967? Nope. Nothing. Nada. Not a single mint mark. And that's because, in the 60s, the U.S. Mint was feeling a little, let's say, overworked. The U.S. Mint actually decided to remove mint marks from 1965 to 1967 to discourage collectors from hoarding coins. Yeah, they really thought people would stop collecting just because there was no tiny letter on them. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. People still collected coins, and here we are, decades later, talking about how this little 1967 penny is still worth more than a penny. Alright, so let's get into the money talk. If you've got a 1967 Lincoln penny, don't go quitting your job just yet. Most of these are worth just face value, but, and this is a big but, if you've got one in excellent condition, also known as uncirculated or graded, you could be looking at a couple of bucks. And if it's in MS 67 plus condition, meaning it's practically flawless, it could be worth $50 or more. So basically, the difference between a regular penny and a valuable one is kinda like the difference between a fast food burger and a gourmet steak, same basic idea, but a whole different level of quality. Regular circulated 1967 penny, 1 cent nice uncirculated one around $1.70 proof coins can go even higher. Now that I've got you digging through your coin jar, let's talk strategy. Here's what to look for: the shinier and more flawless, the better. Some pennies have double strikes, misprints, or die cracks, which can raise the value significantly. If you think you have a high-value penny, send it off to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Speaking of which, let me tell you about the time I found a 1967 penny that I was sure would make me rich. I sent it in for grading, only to find out it was worth, drumroll please, $2.50. Not exactly retire to a tropical island money, but hey, it still bought me a coffee. Moral of the story: even if you don't strike it rich, it's still fun to go on a treasure hunt. Plus, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. Alright, coin lovers, that's a wrap on the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Remember, while most of these pennies aren't going to pay off your student loans, there are gems out there worth hunting for. So next time you get change at the grocery store, take a second look. Who knows? You might just be holding a tiny copper fortune. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth money. I've got plenty more stories, strategies, and hidden treasures to talk about. And hey, if you find a valuable penny, let me know in the comments. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever heard the tale of the 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? You might have seen headlines claiming it's rare, valuable, and a collector's dream. But before you start raiding your couch cushions like a pirate on a treasure hunt, let's talk about the real deal with this coin. I have a whole jar full of those. And hey, I felt the same way when I first stumbled upon this topic. But let's just say, the reality is a little less striking gold and a little more loose change for a cup of coffee. Stick with me as we break down the facts, bust some myths, and have a few laughs along the way. First, a little history lesson. Back in 1982, the U.S. Mint decided to shake things up. They were transitioning from 95% copper pennies to zinc pennies coated in copper. Why? Because copper prices were rising faster than my grandma's bread dough. During this transition, the Mint produced multiple varieties of the 1982 Lincoln cent: large date, small date, copper, and zinc. But among all of these, one version became a subject of collector curiosity: the 1982 no mint mark penny. Now, before you get excited, let's talk about why this isn't some $1 million rarity. Unlike the legendary 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die, the 1982 no mint mark penny is actually not an error coin. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, surprise, surprise, didn't use a mint mark at the time. So, if you have a 1982 penny with no mint mark, congratulations. You have a totally normal coin. Great question. It all comes down to condition and demand. A regular 1982 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is still worth, well, a penny. But in mint state condition, meaning it looks fresh off the press and shinier than my uncle's bald head, it can fetch around $1.20. And if you have an exceptionally well-preserved one, maybe a little more. Oh, and before you rush to the bank to withdraw all your 1982 pennies, remember, grading plays a huge role. A coin graded MS-65, which is pretty much perfection, might bring a couple of bucks, but anything below that? Yeah, don't quit your day job just yet. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I found a 1982 penny in my change and thought, this is it. I'm about to hit the jackpot. So, I did what any overly excited amateur coin hunter would do: I Googled it. And I was met with a mix of wild claims, clickbait, and confusion that I spent hours staring at that penny under different lighting, trying to convince myself it was a rare variety. I even took it to a local coin shop, only to have the guy behind the counter take one look and say, "Buddy, it's worth a cent." Lesson learned, not every rare coin is actually rare. And sometimes, the thrill of the hunt is more valuable than the coin itself. The 1982 no-mint mark penny is interesting but not life-changing. That it's worth around $1.20 if it's in top-notch condition. If you have one in your change, it's probably just that, change. And most importantly, always double-check your sources before you start planning your early retirement. But hey, don't let this discourage you from checking your coins. Because while this one may not be the golden ticket, there are real treasures out there just waiting to be discovered. If you love learning about coins, spotting hidden gems, and making sure you don't accidentally spend a valuable one on a vending machine snack, then hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are actually worth money. Let's swap some stories. Alright, folks. Let's talk about something that's probably hiding in your couch cushions, your car cup holder, or that random drawer where you keep batteries and takeout menus. Yep, the 1984 Lincoln penny. Now, before you chuck that little copper beauty aside, let me tell you, this bad boy might be worth more than 1 cent. Gasp. I know, shocking. We're talking about a whopping, drum roll, please, $1.50. That's right. You could be walking around with a penny that's actually worth a small fry at McDonald's. Or, if you're feeling fancy, an item off the dollar menu with tax. So, is this coin worth saving? Is it time to raid your change jar? Let's dive in and find out. Okay, so what makes this little coin worth more than its face value? First off, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, good old Rocky Mountain copper. This penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008 before the design changed to honor Honest Abe's life. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most 1984 D pennies are made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. If you find one in pristine, shiny, uncirculated condition, also known as mint state, or MS, it could be worth way more than just $1.50. In fact, some high-grade versions have been sold for over $100 at auction. I mean, imagine turning a single penny into $100, talk about a return on investment. That's like investing in a cup of ramen and getting a whole buffet in return. Now, let's talk about what really gets coin collectors excited, errors and varieties. Some 1984 D pennies have what's called a double die error, particularly in Lincoln's ear. If you see Honest Abe looking like he's rocking a Bluetooth headset before they were even invented, congratulations. You've got a valuable error coin. These can sell for $50, $100, or even more depending on the condition. So, let's say you've gone through your piggy bank, and bam, you've got a shiny 1984 D penny in great condition. What now? Well, you can try selling it on eBay, Etsy, yes, people sell coins on Etsy, or at local coin shops. But be warned, coin dealers can be as tricky as a used car salesman. You gotta know your stuff, or you might walk out of there with a handshake and a better luck next time. Pro tip, get your coin graded by PCGS or NGC before trying to sell, it adds credibility and increases your chances of getting top dollar. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was dead broke in college, like, ramen noodle 3 times a day broke. One day, I was doing laundry and found a 1984 penny. Being the nerd I am, I looked it up, and bam, it was worth a couple of bucks. That moment changed me. From that day on, I became obsessed with checking my change. I wasn't just looking for coins, I was hunting treasure. Fast forward to today, and here I am, telling you to check your pockets, because who knows? That penny in your hand right now might just be your next small McDonald's splurge. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 1984 D Lincoln penny. It may not make you rich overnight, but hey, finding one that's worth more than its face value is like getting free money. And who doesn't love free money? So, here's what I want you to do, go check your pockets, your couch, your car, heck, even ask your grandma if she's got some old pennies lying around. And if you find something cool, drop a comment below and let me know. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more coin tips, treasure hunting tricks, and money-making strategies. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, give it a big thumbs up. Until next time, keep collecting, keep hunting, and keep making sense. See what I did there? Alright, I'll see myself out. Peace. Alright, let's talk about something that's probably hiding in your couch cushions, your car cup holder, or even in that mysterious pocket of your jeans you haven't washed in a week, the 1986 NO Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, this little copper beauty is worth more than face value. Not by a crazy amount, but hey, money is money. And if you've ever dreamt of turning pocket change into an extra burger at the drive-thru, this might just be your lucky day. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be digging through your coin jar like a pirate looking for treasure. So, let's break it down. The 1986 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, what's the deal? Well, first of all, if you flip one over and don't see a little letter under the date, congratulations. You have a Philadelphia minted penny. Back in '86, the Philly Mint didn't bother stamping a mint mark on these pennies, so if yours is missing a P or anything else, it's totally normal. But here's where it gets interesting, this little guy isn't just worth a penny, it's currently valued at around $1.60. Yeah, I know, $1.60 won't buy you a yacht or even a decent cup of fancy coffee, but let's put this into perspective. Imagine you find 100 of these in your change, boom. That's 160 bucks. That's a nice dinner, a tank of gas, well, depending on where you live, or even a solid start on that emergency fund your mom keeps nagging you about. You're probably wondering, why is it worth more? Good question. It's not necessarily rare, but collectors love these because they're part of history. The design, featuring good old Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, was in use from 1959 to 2008. And even though millions were made, people are always on the hunt for pennies in the best condition possible. That's where the real value starts to climb. If you've got one in pristine condition, like, fresh out of the roll, never been touched by human hands kinda condition, it could be worth even more. High-grade, mint-state versions can sell for over $10, and if you somehow stumble upon a rare era version, now you're talking bigger money. Okay, funny story. A few years ago, I found a 1986 penny while cleaning out my car. At first, I was like, just another penny, but then I remembered reading something about certain pennies being worth money. So, naturally, I did what any rational person would do, I googled it for 3 hours, fell into a deep rabbit hole of coin collecting forums, and convinced myself I was about to retire early on a pile of rare coins. Spoiler alert, my penny wasn't rare. But it was a 1986 no mint mark, and after learning its value, I started checking all my change. Fast forward a few weeks, and I'd collected a small pile of valuable pennies. No, I didn't become a millionaire, but I did score a few free lunches, and I felt like a treasure hunter every time I found one. And that, my friends, is what makes coin collecting fun, it turns everyday pocket change into a little adventure. So, next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss it in a jar and forget about it. Check those pennies. You never know what you might find. And hey, if you do find a 1986 no mint mark penny, hold on to it. Who knows, maybe in a few years, its value will go up even more. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that little notification bell so you never miss a new video. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, have you ever picked up a penny off the sidewalk and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one little penny could be worth more than $1, and in some cases, a whole lot more? Today, we're diving into the world of the 1988 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I know what you're thinking, 1988. That wasn't that long ago. But trust me, you'll want to pay attention because this unassuming little copper beauty is making waves in the coin collecting world. So, before you go tossing your change jar into a Coinstar machine, let's talk about why this penny is worth more than just, well, a penny. Okay, so first things first. What makes a 1988 Lincoln penny special? It all comes down to that tiny little letter underneath the date, also known as the mint mark. Now, depending on where it was made, you might see a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. But what we're really looking for today is a little bit of a mix-up that happened back in the day. 1988 was a wild year, mullets were in, cassette tapes were king, and for some reason, someone at the U.S. Mint decided to get creative with their dies. See, pennies made in 1988 should have a mint mark with a clear, well-defined style. But a special error variation exists where the mint mark style is actually from 1989. This little mistake. Oh boy, it makes all the difference. So, how do you know if you have the money-making version? Great question. Get yourself a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe, because you're looking for the distinct shape of the S mint mark. The transition between the styles is what collectors are losing their minds over. And now, the big question, how much is this penny actually worth? Well, as of right now, the average market price for one of these pennies in circulated condition is about $1.50. Now, I know, you're probably thinking, $1.50. That won't even get me a good cup of coffee. But hold your horses. If you have one in mint condition, especially if it's been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, that price can skyrocket into the hundreds of dollars depending on demand and condition. I once found one of these in my grandpa's old coin jar. Thought nothing of it, but then curiosity got the best of me. So, I grabbed my magnifying glass, took a closer look, and bam, there it was, the 1989 style mint mark. Now, did I sell it? Nope. I kept it because, well, let's be honest, how often do you get a piece of history in your pocket? Alright, so what's the lesson here, folks? Check your change. That penny in your car's cup holder. The one rattling around in your washing machine. It could be worth way more than you think. And hey, even if you don't find the rare one, you still get to be that person at the dinner table going, did you know some pennies are actually worth money? Instant conversation starter. So, if you want to learn more about coins worth money, hidden treasures in your pocket change, and the best strategies for coin collecting, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big ol' thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to cash in on some unexpected treasure. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions looking for spare change to grab a coffee, and bam. You find a simple, humble penny. But what if I told you that one tiny, unassuming coin could be worth way more than 1 cent? Maybe not enough to buy a mansion, but hey, an extra grand or two never hurt anybody. Today, we're talking about the 1992 D Lincoln penny, what makes it special, why collectors are after it, and if you've got one sitting in your piggy bank, how much you could potentially cash in. Alright, before you go emptying every coin jar in your house, let's get to the nitty-gritty. The 1992 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. Nothing too crazy, right? Well, here's the twist, there's a rare variety called the Close AM penny. And no, I don't mean the coin has emotional baggage, I'm talking about the spacing between the letters, and M, in America, on the reverse side. See that? In the regular version, the and M are social distancing, like responsible citizens. But in the rare variety, they're cozying up like best friends at a family barbecue. This subtle difference is what makes some 1992 D pennies worth way more than face value. Alright, now for the part that gets everyone excited, how much are we talking here? A 1992 D close AM penny in circulated condition is worth around $1.10, so, not exactly retirement money. But, if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, these bad boys have sold for thousands at auction. We're talking $3,000, $4,000, or even more. That's a lot of coffee money, my friend. Just last year, a top-tier specimen sold for over $25,000. Imagine turning 1 cent into 25 grand. That's like finding a winning lottery ticket in your sock drawer. And hey, even if yours isn't worth thousands, a couple extra bucks for something you found in your car's cup holder? Not bad. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera and zoom in on the word America on the back. If the A and M are touching like long-lost siblings, you just might have a close AM penny. Next, check the condition. The better the shape, the better the price. Lastly, if you think you have a winner, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Nobody's gonna take your word for it unless you've got the paperwork to back it up. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her old purse collection. Yes, she had a collection of purses, don't ask. Anyway, I'm digging through some old coins in the bottom of one, and boom, there it was, a 1992 D penny. My heart was racing, I felt like I just found a hidden treasure. Long story short, I rushed to check the AM spacing, and, well, turns out it was the regular kind. But hey, it was still a fun ride. Plus, it gave me the coin collecting bug, and here we are today. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, now you know the deal. The 1992 D Lincoln penny might not make you rich overnight, but it's proof that rare finds are out there, just waiting to be discovered. So, check your pockets, your piggy banks, and yes, even your grandma's purse. And if you do find a close AM variety, well, let's just say you owe me a coffee. If you love learning about coins worth money and want more tips on turning pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Also, drop a comment below, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasure hunting. See you in the next one. Alright, folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground, looked at it, and thought, meh, just a penny? Well, hold on to your coin jars because today we're talking about a 2000 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that could be worth more than just 1 cent. That's right. This little copper-plated beauty has a current market value of around $1.50. Now, I know what you're thinking, $1.50. That's barely enough for a gas station coffee. Asterisk, but hey, what if you have a whole roll of these? Or 100? That's some real money, my friend. Asterisk, so, grab your stash of loose change, get comfy, and let's dive into why this penny is worth more than face value, how to spot a good one, and whether you should hoard them like a dragon with gold. Before we get into the juicy details, let's talk about what makes this penny special. The 2000 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, hence the no mint mark. Unlike its Denver cousin, which proudly sports a little D, these Philly pennies just keep it simple. No mint mark, no problem. At first glance, you might think this is just another penny in your couch cushions, but coin collectors are looking for these in top-notch condition, specifically in MS65 grade or higher, which is basically coin speak for super shiny, almost perfect. Digging through your pennies like a treasure hunter. Here's what you need to look for, probably still worth just a penny. But an uncirculated, near-flawless one. Now we're talking that sweet $1.50 range, or even more. The shinier, the better. Think of it like dating, nobody wants a penny that's been through rough times unless it has a compelling backstory. If the A and M in America are spaced apart, it's a rare variety. Cha-ching. Yes, the opposite variety exists too. The letters are almost touching, and it's sought after too, die cracks and double dies, little errors that happen when the coin is struck wrong. Think of it as a factory oops that collectors love. Well, here's the deal: if it's in great condition, sell it. A well-preserved 2000 no-mint mark penny can bring you $1.50 or more. Multiply that by a jar full, and you've got some lunch money. If it's average condition, save it. Pennies with small value now could appreciate over time, so who knows? Your piggy bank could turn into a treasure chest in a few decades. Relatable story, my penny hunting adventure. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was rolling up pennies to take to the bank because, adulting. As I was sorting through them, I noticed a really shiny 2000 penny. I almost tossed it in with the rest, but my gut said, nah, check it out first. No. But was it exciting? Heck yeah. And that's when I realized, hey, maybe this coin collecting thing isn't just for grandpas in basements. Since then, I always keep an eye out for interesting pennies. And guess what? I've found quite a few gems worth more than a pretty penny. See what I did there? So trust me, take a few minutes to check your change. You never know what you might find. There you have it, folks, the humble 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that might just be worth more than you thought. Who knew a simple penny could be worth $1 or more? That's like getting a free upgrade at the coffee shop. Here's my challenge to you: go check your piggy banks, your junk drawers, and even that cup holder in your car. You might be sitting on some extra cash without even realizing it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on more money-making coin tips. I'll be back with more hidden gems in your pocket change. Alright, let's talk about something you probably have in your pocket or couch cushions right now: a 2011 Lincoln penny. Yes, a 1-cent coin that, believe it or not, is worth more than its face value. But before you start flipping your couch cushions upside down, let's break it all down. Is it worth thousands? Nope. Is it worth digging through every pile of pennies you own? Well, maybe. Stay tuned because I'm about to spill the details on what makes this coin worth more than just a copper snack for a vending machine. First things first, the D mint mark on your 2011 Lincoln penny means it was minted in Denver. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, here's a quick rundown. The United States has multiple mints, and Denver, our friend with the D, is one of them. The 2011 D penny is part of the Shield Reverse series, which replaced the older Lincoln Memorial design. And while it's not ancient, this little guy has started gaining a bit of value. How much, you ask? About $1.30 in top-notch condition. I know what you're thinking. $1.30? That's barely enough to buy a gas station hot dog. And you'd be right. But hear me out, what if you had a whole jar of them? Suddenly, you're looking at enough for a fast food meal or a decent coffee run. That's called stacking value, my friends. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her spare bedroom. She has this jar of pennies, like a full-on "this could double as a weapon" kind of jar. I started sorting through them, and lo and behold, I found a crisp 2011 D penny. I got excited, thinking I had just struck it rich. Turns out, it was only worth $1.30. Did my grandma laugh at me? Absolutely. Did I keep searching anyway? You bet. And that, my friends, is the heart of coin collecting. You never know when you might find a rare gem among the everyday change. Condition is everything in the coin world. If your 2011 D penny has been through the ringer, scratched, dull, or has seen more pockets than a taxi driver, it's probably still just worth a cent. But if you have one in pristine condition, graded MS 65 or higher, that's where the $1.30 price tag comes into play. Coins with errors, like missing letters, double dies, or weird minting mistakes, can be worth even more. So, how do you know if your penny is in great condition? Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can assess it for you. But if you're just casually checking, look for sharp details, strong luster, and minimal scratches. A coin that looks fresh out of the mint is what you're aiming for. So, should you start hoarding 2011 D Lincoln pennies? Well, if you enjoy the thrill of the hunt and stacking up a little extra cash over time, why not? It's a fun way to learn about coins, and you might stumble upon a real rarity one day. Plus, let's be honest, there's something strangely satisfying about sorting through change. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could be hiding in your pocket worth way more than you think, hit that subscribe button. And drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Maybe it's an old wheat penny, a silver dime, or maybe you just love the smell of old coins. No judgment here. I'll see you in the next video.